says that the people most affected by the homelessness, mental health, and drug poisoning crises in Peterborough are not criminals. Peterborough Public Health is very concerned about the impacts of this announcement for people who are already experiencing immediate and acute harms to their health and safety. What would you respond to that?
Yeah, I don't think anybody is saying that the people who are involved here are criminals, and as I've been very clear, it's not my intention to criminalize anybody as a result of this. We simply want our spaces to be public. We're not trying to stigmatize anybody. We absolutely recognize that some of these folks are, they're in a place right now where, quite frankly, they need help. And when I look at this and I think, when we see a person who's sitting on the sidewalk, who's sitting in the middle of a parking lot, who's in a park, and they're injecting, they're inhaling, and we walk past them and we don't even give them a moment's notice. It's as if we're signaling that they don't matter. It's as if we're saying this is permitted, and by permitting it, we're promoting it. Those people do matter. And Public Health and I, we agree on that. They matter. We're not saying they're criminals, and we don't want them to be criminals. We want them to get the help they need. I and my area of responsibility is around safety and public safety. Their area is around health and safety. We intersect. We are inextricably entwined, and we will continue to work together towards that.
Perfect. And I also spoke to Forecast, as I mentioned, and they did mention on the sheet of paper that there was a wrong address under theirs.
Okay.
Maybe I'll put that in there. But she was also wondering about more questions with it. She said she agreed with the statement of, getting more people out there and actually approaching people
Sure.
and trying to move along. She did ask, where would they be moved along to, though?
Yeah, so injectable users would be encouraged to find a spot where that's appropriate. We know we have a CTS site here in our city. That's our very first location for those who are at that stage where they are injecting. We would direct them to that location. Of course, they don't have to take our direction as to where they go, but that's where we would send that particular group. We also recognize that there are those who will choose to inhale, and that's a bigger problem. For those who have a home and can make use of that, that's where that would be more appropriate rather than in our public spaces. But the folks from Forecast, we did have a conversation. They were one of the groups that we consulted with, we spoke about, and we both recognize that there is no place like an injectable location for those who are inhaling.
Perfect. And she also brought up maybe having the Peterborough Police Services support on other things like more programs they're trying to implement, and if Peterborough Police would be getting behind them and trying to find funding. It's more provincial funding. I'm not sure how you guys could support that or have your voices heard.
So we are part of the Peterborough Drug Strategy. We are a seat at that table. And although we are the law enforcement arm of that, we do recognize that when there are other options for people, then they won't necessarily intersect with the criminal law and the criminal justice system. That's helpful for us. I can't say specifically what some of the community groups might be looking for in terms of funding, but if they bring us something that we can support as an ally, then we certainly would, keeping in mind that our priorities are around public safety, their priorities are around public health, and we will continue to support each other.
Perfect. And MVP Smith and MP Ferrari have both shared that they're in full support of everything, and they are hoping to see that action, everything like that. Do you have any response to their support, or if any other supporters?
Yeah, I absolutely appreciate the support of our local members of provincial parliament, member of federal parliament. I can tell you that I've enjoyed support from ministers within our current provincial government. I've had more than one opportunity to speak to the Solicitor General with regard to this, local councillors, and I've had conversations in support. And I've also had conversations with chiefs of police from other police services who are watching Peterborough with interest to see where and what transpires here. I've spoken with my Ontario Association of Chiefs of Police, the Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police. I want people to know why we're doing this and that it's a balanced approach. It's not a heavy-handed all enforcement. We're not looking to see that have people more marginalized. We're not looking to have people criminalized. I really do want to see that they get help, but I also want to see that the rest of the community is safe for the rest of the community.
Perfect. And why has it taken until now for this change to come here in Peterborough?
So it took me a little bit of time to sort of find my way, learn my way, get a lay of the land here in the city. I've been here now for 9 months. I've been working on some internal things, obviously working on some external things. Budget has been taking up a great deal of my time. We're also looking for facilities, and I'm working on how I can better the working environment for our own members. That doesn't exclude my need to look around the community and see what's happening there. As I told you, I quite often walk through these public spaces myself just to get a feel for what's happening, to see what others are reporting on. And it doesn't matter whether that's a park where we know homeless people are currently encamped, or if it's just a park in another community that we've had no concerns about. For me, it's just an opportunity to get to know the city a little bit better, hear what's happening in the city, and then try and devise a plan for how we can respond to it. That's my job.
Is there anything else you wanted to add? I know we spoke about it yesterday and today, but anything else you think of that you think is important for residents to understand?
I just want people to realize that this isn't about a panic, and I want them to realize that this is public safety, and this is what public safety looks like. It is not about criminalizing people unnecessarily. I'm here for everybody, and we need to ensure that everybody includes those who use our public spaces, and that means everybody who uses our public space.